Hello and welcome to the old Fliers. In a recent video I spoke about the Martin Mars flying boats and how they were sailing off into the sunset following flying boats such as the Blohm&Voss BV222 and BV238. There is a curious story of how an established German shipbuilder, Blohm&Voss, became an aircraft manufacturer. Blohm&Voss was founded in 1877 by Hermann Blohm and Ernest Voss. Shipbuilding was at that time dominated by the British, with even German customers preferring to buy British. Blohm&Voss's initial business was confined to ship repairs. The first new build order was for a small cargo paddle steamer Berg, and the business took off. By 1882, the company had gained a reputation for quality and punctuality and was prospering. Blohm&Voss's most famous product was the World War II Battleship Bismarck. They also built many U-boats. You might say that they were totally engaged in Nazi Germany's war effort. Earlier, in 1933, Blohm&Voss was suffering a financial crisis from lack of work. Its owners decided that there would be soon a market for all-metal, long-range flying boats, especially with the German state airline Deutsche Lufthansa. They also felt that their experience with all-metal marine construction would prove an advantage. They formed the Hamburger Flottenbau. I'm sure I pronounced that incorrectly. I'll put the spelling below. Most of the aircraft built by them would in fact be other companies' designs and major sub-assemblies contracted under license, including tens of thousands of aircraft, each for Dornier, Heinkel, Junkers and Messerschmitt. Alongside its volume manufacturing, the company also maintained its own design office and workshops, which continued to develop and build new types throughout the company's life. The aircraft produced by Hamburger Flottenbau were still commonly associated with Blohm&Voss. In September 1937, that company was renamed, and I'm not going to pronounce that, I'll put the name in the description, and the company code was BV. Its most significant designs were flying boats mainly used by the Luftwaffe for marine patrol and reconnaissance. Most numerous was the BV-138 Seedrush, initiated as the HA-138, a twin-boom trimotor, while the BV-222 Viking was much larger. Largest of all was the BV-238 prototype, the largest aircraft built by any of the Axis forces. Other notable types include the asymmetric BV-141, which was built in moderate numbers but did not enter production. At the end of the war, aircraft production was shut down. Hamburger Flottenbau re-emerged in 1956, still under the ownership of Walter Blohm, but no longer connected to Blohm&Voss. It reopened the former Blohm&Voss aircraft factory at Finkenwerder and subsequently underwent various further changes of ownership and company name, eventually becoming part of Airbus. Now that's a name I can pronounce. After the Second World War, the British continued to demolish the shipyards of Steinwerder. Blohm&Voss, unable to restart shipbuilding work, all but ceased to exist for several years. In 1950, Blohm&Voss created a new subsidiary company, Steinwerder Industries AG, to manufacture machinery and boilers on that site. Its shipyard fortunes began to revive in 1952 when the new company was allowed to restart ship repair work, and the city of Hamburg subsequently guaranteed it credit. In 1953, some 900 workers were back in employment. The building of new ships would later also be allowed again. The first ship built was the Wappen von Hamburg in 1955. During this period of resurrection, the level of investment required meant that Blohm&Voss moved out of private hands and became a publicly quoted company, soon to be consolidated into the Thyssen Group. During the post-war years, Blohm&Voss built oil rigs and developed a market for other offshore products such as support ships and pipelines, as well as luxury yachts. Eclipse, built for Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich, is 162 meters in length, making it the second longest private yacht in the world. As for the BV-222 and BV-238 aircraft, well, 3 BV-222s were captured and subsequently operated by Allied forces. Captain Eric Winkelbrown flew one from Norway to the RAF station at Kolshot in 1946 to be tested by the Marine Aircraft Experimental Establishment at Felixstowe. 2 others were captured by US forces at the end of the conflict. On the 15th of August, and again on the 20th of August 1945, US Navy pilot Richard Schreider performed test flights accompanied by a German flight crew, and one of these captured BV-222s across 2 flights covering a total flight time of 38 minutes. No less than 4 engine fires were recorded. While many spare engines were available, they were of substandard quality due to the lack of quality alloys near the end of the conflict, and thus caught fire easily. Since the aircraft was not airworthy with these engines, the aircraft was taken out to open water and sunk by a US Navy destroyer. As for the larger 6-engine BV-238, the heaviest aircraft ever built in 1944, weighing in at a hefty 100 tons, well, just one was built, first flight being March 1945. After just 4 test flights over 2 months, BV-238 version 1 was declared to be unfit for service. This aircraft was strafed and partially sunk while moored on Lake Charles, several miles to the east of Hamburg. Following the end of the conflict, the Allies refused to let the flying boat be restored, so it was taken out to deeper water and sunk. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more flying stories.